Hello. Happy Boxing Day, which is mostly in Canada and Britain, I think. Anyway, and I think I remember talking about this before. Boxing Day, the December 26th, is like the day that you visit family if you haven't already. I don't know. But anyway, Merry Christmas Day too. So this time, I know my video yesterday was like 17 minutes long, and I thought about trying to make it shorter, but I don't have time to keep remaking all of these. I'm gonna try and just make the rest of them not as long as that one. This is day two. Let's jump right into it and open it up. Here we go. It is called Pluto and Charon. Pluto and Charon, which I think that's how you say it. But it is for what used to be our ninth planet, right? Anyway, when I was a kid, Pluto was a planet. And it actually has its own little moon. It's kind of like a twin planet, which is Charon. And I will show you why this gray with a little bit of like a burgundy on it is the color for Pluto and Charon. Let me show you the picture that I was inspired by. And why did I choose Pluto? Because Pluto used to be a planet, but it got downgraded, poor guy, to dwarf planet, which it's really still really, really, really far, far out there. But we're going to be talking about some stuff that's even further out there. This is at least within our own solar system. Let me show you the picture that was, yeah, whoop, yeah, here. I'm going to jump to the picture. No, Pluto and Charon. If you haven't already, check out NASA's website. It is really cool. I love the style of it, and also since I'm assuming our taxes pay for it, it's not with pop-ups and ads and everything. Some of these other things that I've had to research have given me an awful lot of like pop-ups and ads and everything. But no, the NASA website is the bomb. This is the picture. Here's Pluto, the tiny little dwarf planet that it is now. And there's Charon. It's, you could say moon, but look, it's not exactly perfectly round because these things are not big enough to make themselves round with their own gravity. Part of the reason. Why was it minima why was it there it is. Why was it demoted? Well, regular planets have to, yeah, I've read some other places, but this is basically a summary. It needs to orbit the sun, be spherical, and have cleared its orbit of other debris, which Pluto has not done that. So that's why it's a dwarf planet. And then why is it red? Why do we have this little bit of red on the end? Because of tholins. You would think it might be like rust or something, but no. It's organic compounds that rain down onto the surface after cosmic rays or UV light interact with the methane. So that's interesting to me. Like, why is Pluto this way? And why do we have this little bit of red in it? Why? And the other thing that I want everyone to think about is like, is this an actual photograph? Well, it's about the closest we get to a photograph, but no, there was no person out there taking a photograph with a camera. So all of these images we're looking at, you have to think about, see, here's this website that has a good explanation from Wired, but lots of pop-ups. I'll just summarize it kind of, but I'll stop sharing. Uh, we're not necessarily, there's no person out there taking a picture of Pluto. It's this little New Horizons spacecraft that went out there in 2015 and took some images. But how did it take those images and what kind of camera did it use? So yeah, this is the truest I could find to what a photograph of Pluto might be, but we'll talk about how some of these other outer space images are created, especially when you're talking about like James Webb, which uses infrared, which we can't see with our eyes to create or help create the image. So, what kind of color are you going to get? And what kind of color are you going to dye? So, I just want you, the scientists aren't really bothered about it because they're just trying to get multiple different types of images and then convert it into something your brain can process and appreciate using the visual colors that your eyes can see. So this is the colors I took were basically from what would be like a photograph if you were there. But we will talk about some of the other inspirations and how they might be some combined images using other types of spectrum rather than just the visible. Right now, this is basically visible. It takes an awful lot of effort to get these images. And also you're getting like a snapshot in time. Oh, and also in that image, Pluto and Charon were like right on top of each other. They are like all both very small objects, but they're probably much further apart from that. So I will try to explain when there's big differences with the images, but you have to give me a little bit of license. These are not all photographs taken with what we think of as a camera. So, and I just wanted to give Pluto a little bit of its due, especially since it got to know it. All right. And so now I will show you what I have knit up because this one I don't have to just show a picture. I'm got day 1 and day 2. It's that same shape with the tad. I'm going to show you the original pattern, and then also you'll kind of see how my modified one does differently. And I have the sparkle right here when the colors change. Place at this point, and I have it contained within my sock so it doesn't tangle up. Let me share with you the the bundle, and we can look at kind of like what the other images were. So you can just kind of see the difference, whether or not you're making this or not. I just thought you might want to see. Okay, so this is my Ravelry bundle that can recommend a lot of things, and I did show this one yesterday. This is kind of like more like the version, except I'm not going to have these holes in it, or like this one. The original Batad looks like this. Okay, and instead of these black welts, I'm not going to have a welt. And I'm also going to have like the sparkle there and then go through the colors. And part of the reason why I'm not using up every bit of each color is because if I did, this would get too big. We'll see what happens when if I start, I might have to modify more if I start using up more than the 20 grams I am given when I get to the last colors, but I guess we'll see what happens. I like to be a little bit adventurous sometimes. And this is kind of how I'm envisioning wearing it. It also looks like rings, like the rings of Saturn. So I thought that was like, I don't know, cool to me. So follow along and see what happens. So here we are, day 1 and day 2. And so the pink is going to be up here above my neck, and then it's going to go through all the rest of the colors. You can kind of see the sparkle in there, especially when I move it. You can see a little bit of sparkle. So join me tomorrow for day 3. And we'll talk about that one's inspiration. Bye for now. Bye.